wonderful Brighton welcoming for the next Labour Prime Minister of the UK, Jeremy Corbyn.
And the fire service. Welcome to fire service. Give a round of applause to the firefighters. Thanks all for coming today. I've just been in the Unison conference to thank them for all the support they gave us in the general election. We had the biggest increase in the Labour vote for any election since 1945 during the 6 weeks of the election campaign. The Tories called the election on the basis they wanted a strong and stable leadership and not have a coalition of chaos. They lost seats, they lost credibility, they lost authority. We gained seats, gained votes, gained support, and that support continues to grow day after day as people realise what has really happened. Because what the election campaign did was offered people something rather different. We offered hope. We offered hope rather than fear. We brought people together, not divided them apart. And we said that it's time, past time, to call time on austerity politics and on the cuts in public spending that are going on all the time. And I used the opportunity of speaking to friends in Unison to thank all those that work in the public services, in our hospitals, in our schools, looking after care in the social services and so many other places, and the stress and strain they're under all the time because there's not enough of them and there's more and more work to do, and they've had a wage freeze for the past 7 years. In reality, and the real reality is this, that most people in the public sector have had a 14% pay cut in the past 7 years. Whilst at the same time, tax relief, tax giveaways, tax handouts to big business, to big corporations, and to the very wealthiest in our society. 7 years of austerity have brought us more homeless, more poverty, more underfunding of public services, and the greatest gap between the richest and the poorest that's almost ever been in this country. Things have got to change. And so what we did in our manifesto wasn't to divide people, it was to bring people together. I want all of our children to have the best chance in a school, to have the best chance to get an apprenticeship, a qualification, the best chance to go to university. I don't want good quality education decided on the lottery of charity funding for a particular primary school. I don't want good quality education to be decided on the lottery of your parents' wealth or otherwise to get to university. I don't want it to be decided by the lottery of the postcode where you were born. Every child deserves the same chance. Every child deserves a decent education. Every young person, if they want to, deserves the right to be able to go to university. And so it is about investing in our future. And it's saying to the young people of this country, yes, the future does belong to you, but I want that future for you to have better standards than all of us, to achieve more than all of us, so that one generation moves on to help another one. But what's the miserable, arid, ridiculous message that neocon economics and austerity brings us? Sorry, you'll have to pay for your education. Sorry, you'll have to pay for your health service. Sorry, you'll have to pay for your pension in the future. A good society is a secure society. A secure society is one that invests in all of its people and makes sure they have somewhere to live, they are able to work, and they are able to get the education they want. Instead, what we've had is benefit freezes, wage freezes, and benefit cuts. We've had the indignity of people with disabilities going through these endless capability to work assessment tests, knowing full well that most of those people who are deemed to be fit for work are not fit for work and go through the stress and trauma of trying to get their benefits back. And sadly, some have even been driven to suicide as a result of it. I want to live in a society that genuinely cares for all, not gives tax handouts to the few. And so we had that terrible fire at Grenfell Tower a week ago. Almost 100 bodies have already been recovered from that scene. None, absolutely none of those people should have died. There should have been a safety system in place. There should have been proper emergency services there on the site at the time, such as proper sprinkler systems and all the rest of it to save those lives. And there should not have been flammable cladding around that or any other building. Surely this might just be a turning point in our public consciousness about the way people are forced to live and the degrees of inequality in our society. Because that dreadful towering inferno of Grenfell Tower has taken the lives of people who should be with us today. It was almost a tower of poverty in the richest part of the United Kingdom. Surely it is time to think again about inequality and injustice and poverty within our society. I don't want to live in food bank Britain. I don't want to live in homeless Britain. I want to live in a country that is proud that we house everybody, proud that we make sure every young person has a chance and an opportunity in life. And so if that teaches us something, maybe, just maybe, there will be a change in government policy, where we start to put money into housing rather than taking money out of housing in this country. Now, we had, as I said, a big increase in the Labour vote in the election, and I'm very proud of that. And I'm very proud of all those people that came together in the campaign, the massive events and rallies we had, the constituencies that we gained, such as here in Brighton. Well done, Lloyd Russell Knowles. And we're heading down the coast a little bit eastwards. I think Hastings deserves a Labour MP. And there's quite a few other places westwards that deserve a Labour MP as well. And so this government wanted re-election on the basis of being strong and stable to avoid having what they used to call the coalition of chaos. Well, I tell you what, this week in Parliament, you could see who was pleased with the election result and you could see who wasn't. We didn't quite win the election, that I fully understand, and I'm obviously very disappointed we didn't quite get the majority that we were pushing so hard for. But I tell you this, on Monday we will be putting before Parliament our amendments, our version of the Queen's speech, the government programme. And on Wednesday and Thursday we'll be inviting Parliament to vote on our amendments. Our amendments about a taxation system that works to alleviate poverty, not increases inequality. Our amendments about investment in housing and education, our investment in health service and social care, our investment in mental health services. We'll be putting all those issues before Parliament. Now, we will press on that and at every opportunity, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm very happy indeed to face a general election tomorrow if it's available. But this time it's going to be different. This time it's going to be different. I only did 100 events in this election campaign. We're going to do more. We're going to be in every part of the country giving this message of unity, this message of hope. Because you know what? We've had some awful events in this country over the last few weeks. That awful event in Manchester when so many wonderful young people died. the attack in my own constituency the other day, the dreadful attack on London Bridge. Those are awful events. And the only answer to that is bringing communities together, is unity in the strength of that adversity, and is having properly funded public services to make sure we're all protected. You don't get protection by getting rid of 20,000 police officers. You get protection by employing more of them. And so, when we come together as people, as we did in the election campaign, when we come together as people in society and communities, there's nothing we can't achieve together when you work together for each other. But if you go in the other direction of spreading division, spreading hatred, spreading racism, spreading xenophobia, spreading Islamophobia, spreading anti-Semitism, spreading any other kind of racist division, you don't achieve anything. All you do is to create division, suspicion, fear, and hatred. What humans intrinsically are collective. Intrinsically are collective coming together to achieve things for all. In life, we don't pass by on the other side. If we see somebody in distress or need, we go over to them and help them. That's what we do. That's what humans naturally do. Can't we translate that a bit further and have a collective approach to the way in which we govern our country, to the way in which we provide our services? So we don't pass by on the other side when people are in mental health stress or homeless or going through a crisis in their lives. And that way, you know, we're all much stronger. A child that is brought up in poverty is less likely, sadly, to achieve their potential in school, college or university. They lose, we lose. The community loses, they lose. It doesn't have to be like that. So, we're going to be out there campaigning from now on all these issues of austerity, of injustice, of poverty in Britain. We're going to be campaigning on all those issues of investment and a decent future for all of us. And a Labour government that wants good relations with the rest of the world, that promotes human rights and democracy around the world, that has a tariff-free trade relationship and partnership with Europe. A government that works for all of the people, all of the time, and sees inequality as something to challenge, not something to cherish. That is the difference between us and the Tories. That is the difference between us and them. And I invite all of you to campaign with us, to get that election, to get that change. But don't just go away at that point, because communities together build societies together and make us all so much stronger. That surely is the lesson of the election campaign. That is the lesson of all of us here today. That is the lesson of what we've just been discussing in that conference. Give people hope, not fear. Give people unity, not division. Thank you very much.
Jeremy!
Love you, Jeremy!